Every enterprise faces threats and risks every day. Each must find a way to operate as effectively, efficiently, and profitably as possible. The level of threat and risk has risen of late because we live in an interconnected and intelligent world with virtually infinite access to information. That opens the door to new and exciting possibilities, but it can also provide an opening for new threats and vulnerabilities, which can cost millions, even billions, in losses. So it's not surprising that threat and risk mitigation has become top of mind for business. In fact, a recent IBM study of C-level executives found a 93% increase in importance for CFOs, and 71% of CIOs are planning to make additional investments in risk management and compliance. Your best defense is a systematic approach to reducing exposure and minimizing negative impact. But where do you begin? An ideal place to start is by analyzing the billions of bits of data your company is already acquiring or has access to, looking through transactions, emails, surveys, and more. And not just looking, but using the power of to monitor your environment using a wide variety of data from many sources. Detect suspicious activity to identify threats and criminal fraud. Control outcomes by delivering the best possible response. Using the broad range of IBM SPSS Predictive Analytics software, you can analyze the possibility and probability, proactively determine threat and risk levels, and decide which are good for your enterprise and which are not. For example, in banking, there is a very fine line in managing risk, one that can mean the difference between profit or loss of millions. Financial risk management, as with most risk, is a balancing act between caution and overzealousness. Yet, in other areas, we need to mitigate risk forcefully, such as with potential terrorist activity, or in law enforcement environments where there can be a human cost, not solely a financial one. Armed with predictive insights based on facts that happen in real time, you can make sound decisions and take preventative actions with a higher degree of confidence in the outcomes. By incorporating IBM SPSS software into your daily operations, your organization becomes a predictive enterprise, able to direct and automate more decisions with better results. Predictive analytics organizations create valuable insight to help decision makers. Insights used to identify key areas of risk, accommodate regulations, or refine and monitor policy, all based on both past events and real-time data. That means, for example, identifying a fraudulent insurance or medical claim while you process it, sending police into those areas most likely to have high crime activity on a particular day, based on the weather, previous day's behavior, day of the week, and other factors. Or identifying the person in your enterprise who suddenly seems to be having irregular network and data activity. With the advanced statistical and predictive techniques incorporated into IBM SPSS software, and based on the business rules or policies that you define, you can detect subtle patterns and associations in your data and build powerful predictive models to identify anomalies. What's more, in contrast to rule-based detection, predictive models can learn from the data as it changes to help detect new and emerging problems so you can continually evolve both policies and decisions. Using an expert predictive tool such as IBM SPSS Modeler, you can model massive volumes of heterogeneous streaming data, both structured data such as surveys and transactions, and unstructured data like emails and call center reports in real time. Once you define the parameters of threats and risks to your enterprise, you can monitor multiple data sources and improve your tracking tools, detect suspicious behavior, whether in people or data, and with real-time detection, you can decide to allow an acceptable activity or prevent it by taking action. This cycle is an interactive process. The more that's learned about threats and risks, the more precise your definition can become, helping widen the scope of threat and risk data being analyzed. Discover how IBM SPSS Predictive Analytics Solutions can help you take proactive, preventative actions rather than simply reacting to incidents after the fact. When you can predict future events, you can act on fact-based insight that can help you drive more favorable outcomes.